Hi, my name is Berta Bustos. I will be presenting on the book One Well, the story of water on Earth. Um, my lesson is for the graders, and pages I will be presenting is from pages 8 to 11 and 28 and 29. My first lesson is recycling water, and we start with that one. First, I will tell the students um, we're gonna play a game called categories, and they have 1 minute to think of on the topic that we're giving them. In this case, it's things that get recycled, and then after a minute, I will write down the responses on the board, and I will review things that are commonly recycled, such as bottles, boxes, paper, batteries, and then I will ask the students what the root word for recycle is. I will ask the students to think pair share, and also to think what the word recycle means. If the students know that the root word is cycle, I said, "Oh, great job!" And now we are going to define what cycle means, which is a series of steps that repeat again and again. Then I will tell the student that we're gonna put recycle in our power word chart, and I will also ask the students now our next three words that will be vapor, evaporate, and evaporation. I would ask the students to share with the partner what these words have in common. And if it's tell me vapor, I will tell them that some of the words that we see in our readings. Then I will go over our learning targets, which are I can use root words to help determine the meaning of unfamiliar words in the recycled water in the well. Um, I will stop right here and ask the students why it's important to know the root words. And then I will continue our next um, learning target, which is I can determine the main idea and key details of recycling water in the well. And last, um, I can answer questions using specific details from recycling water in the well. I will ask the students to go back to the chairs, and the, they're going to work independently, and they will be reading page A from the book. Then uh, I will give them also the worksheet that is includes main idea, the topic, and the three boxes to give me key details. I will explain to the students that they have 15 minutes to complete the task, finding the main idea of the text, and to think of the approaches that we had used in the past to get to find out our main idea. Which one is the titles and the subtitles, um, illustrations, uh, how the sentence starts, like the sequence of the sentence, and what is the author writes more about. I will go around the classroom asking the students, why did you choose that key detail, um, that main idea, um, you know, what is the text mostly about, so that way the students um, can figure out what the main idea of the recycling water is. Then, uh, 5 minutes before, I will remind the students that they have 2 more minutes because I wanted to bring it back and other students to share some of their main ideas. The second part of my task is to find out the key details from the text, which one is I will ask the student, will tell the students that they have 8 minutes to complete the task. I will remember the approaches they have used before, such as overtime, uh, um, I'm sorry, approaches such as pay attention to the text features, look for words such as overtime or must, uh, year after year. And so the students have, you know, way to know which one are the key details. And I also go around the classroom to make sure the students are comprehending and helping them. Um, for this, for the students who are ill, else I will pair them, and I will also have a small group if with a fewer students who have trouble reading, guided reading. Uh, the last, I will I will ask the students to come to the meetup area and to share some of the key details also. After that, I will ask the students to revise their main idea and the key details to make sure that they match. And that's how the students will be reflecting on their learning. And also, I will ask the students what are the words that they think should be on our power word chart, and these are droplets, condensation, precipitation. My third lesson, uh, before I end, I will send it as a homework, read page 11, that is plants in the well. I will ask the students to share with their parents, um, some facts about recycling, what they interest them, and also to draw an illustration about one of the facts. Plants at the well. My learning objective for this lesson is I can compare and contrast text about evapotranspiration. Evapotranspiration. Uh, for my engagement lesson, I will give the students this what a cycle cut and paste, where the student had to cut out the words and label each of the what a cycle. Uh, then I will continue to uh, with our activity for the day, which one is um, comparing and contrasting. I will read the first part because um, the first part, evapotranspiration, because the students already read plants at the well. But before I start, I will ask the student to share which is the main idea and key details from this part of the book. And then I will read the book, this sheet with them. Everybody will get one, and they will be working on pairs. So the part that I will go over with them is called transpiration, the release of water from leaves. Just as you release water vapors when you breathe, plants do too. Although the term transpire is more appropriate than breathe, because we are, I will ask the student who are breathe, who breathes, and I'm sure they would say us, the animals. So I said, well, plants transpire. This picture shows water vapors transpire from plant leaves after plastic bag has been tied around the stem for about an hour. If the bag has been wrapped around the soil below too, then even more water vapor will have been released as water also evaporates from the soil. Plants put down roots into the soil to draw water and nutrients into the stem and leaves. Some of these waters return to the air by transpiration. Transpiration rates vary widely depending on weather conditions such as temperature, humidity, sunlight available and intensity, precipitation, soil type, and saturation ring long slope. During the dry period, transpiration can contribute to the loss of moisture in the upper soil zone, which can have an effect on vegetation to crop fields. I will stop right there and I will ask the students, what are some of the words that we saw the same as plants at the well? And which are um, um, transpiration, uh, plant put roots into the soil to draw water and nutrients. Precipitation is one of the words that we also have seen. And then I will make model for them the first one, um, which is here is my worksheet. And like I said before, some of the ideas that are similar are transpiration is seen in the plants at the well text and also at the evapotranspiration, the water cycle. And then a similar statement in both tests said that um, talks about root systems and also I will give write down what it says in text one and what it says in text two. In text one, plants at the well said that um, the root system allow plants to bring water into the plant. And also it says the same thing here. Plants put down in the text two, plants put down roots into the soil to draw water and nutrients into the stem and leaves. Um, I will give the students some steps such as read with your partner first, the evapor, evapotranspiration text, and highlight the main ideas and key details, and compare both tests, the plants at the well and evapotranspiration. So the students keep track of it. I will give them about 20 minutes to complete the task, and I will bring them back to the meeting area to share some of the ideas and some of the ideas and the um, similarities in the task. As an exit ticket, I will ask the students what is the most important thing to remember when we're comparing texts. And they have this skill before they have completed a lesson on comparing and contrasting. So that's why I feel like then I don't need to go into detail. My third lesson is becoming well aware, and they have that as a homework from the lesson two, and I will go over my learning targets, which are I can ask questions to deepen my understanding of becoming well aware. I can answer questions with specific details about becoming well aware, and I can identify the main message of becoming well aware. I will ask the students, so what our learning target was is they're asking questions to deepen the understanding. They're asking themselves, and then also the main message of becoming well aware. So the first activity is from engage, and is will take about 15 minutes. So I put the timer there. Um, they will be also finding the main idea and key details from page 28 and 29. And I will give them a few minutes to review over the sheet. My second one is test dependent questions, the part two, task two, and also takes about 20 minutes. Um, this lesson, the becoming well aware is more like an assessment because they're going to be working on how to do a voice record where the students will be presenting um, what why is important to be aware how we use water. And that will be the end of my lesson, and I hope you like it.